There's just so much wrestling in Florida. So.
We're not far from Orlando, and I hear that there's this other company that does stuff in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Doesn't this look like Mr. Belding is going to show up?
You know that he's a huge wrestling fan?
Have you met him?
No.
Hey. That was my Mr. Belding.
I had this conversation with a few people like a couple weeks ago, like who are favorite Saved by the Bell character, or like who you reference all the time. Like I constantly reference AC Slater. It's like I channel him a lot, I feel like. Then we somehow got into this conversation about Mr. Belding, and he just happens to be a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was wrestling with WWE, he would like tweet, like he was a huge AJ fan, and so he would like tweet her all the time. I think it's amazing that he's so into it. So we should try to.
Your hair is in the way of your tattoo. We haven't seen the updated tattoo. Can you show it off here?
I'm like, I wasn't prepared. I'm like, yeah, so this is the finished product. This is, I actually like to try to stay away from the word finished because once you start getting, I don't know, this is for everybody, but like once you start getting a ton of tattoos, then it's kind of like addictive in a way.
Sure.
And so like I'm planning on getting some more. But yeah, so I finished this. I started in January of this year, and then I finished it in March. So it was like 20 hours of tattooing, pain that I choose. Because it gives me street cred. So you're like, God.
Yeah, it totally gives you street cred.
Cooler, right?
You definitely, yeah, there it is.
He respects my street cred.
Yeah.
I feel like you're mocking it, but that's fine.
No, I'm just terrified of you. That's because of so much street cred.
It's working.
I think the last time I saw you it was January, and you were like, what have you look like a beast now? Like you've been working out a lot more?
So so backtrack to when I first got back in the ring, and I did like my first show in 4 years, and wrestled the first time in 4 years for CCW.
Yep.
And so that kind of, I just started getting in the ring again, just training for fun, and because I missed it. And then Pablo was like, hey, let's have a match. And I was like, okay. And then so that kind of like put me into this mode, let me get back into shape and start training. And so I got kind of back in shape in February, and then once I did the show, it was great, cool, and then I kind of just went back to focusing way more on like my work and my company and all that. Yeah. And then I have a ton of opportunities that are kind of like knocking down my door right now for wrestling. And so I was like, okay, let me take this opportunity to like get back into shape again. But I can't, so I went vegan for one, and every time I say that, I like wait for a reaction that's like really just super negative.
I think my next question is, what food do you miss the most?
I don't really. I miss dairy a little bit, like cheese. Everybody loves cheese.
Pizza?
Well, cheese.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I've been, and this wasn't even intentional to plug this company, but Trifecta Systems reached out to me about kind of like sponsoring me and sending me meals, and I was like, let me try your vegan stuff. And it's been almost 2 months that I've been eating vegan, and I feel so good. And like, I just lost a ton of weight, and then I've also been training like doing 2 days. Like I'm just beast mode right now.
Yeah, and I meant that in the nicest possible way.
Oh no, I took it as a compliment.
Okay, like your arms are larger than mine.
I'm like, you don't think I'm a beast? And
No,
I would have been offended if you didn't think that.
No, you are, and I'm terrified
Good.
once again here.
Perfect.
But chicken wings are so delicious.
I was never a huge fan of chicken wings.
Okay, this interview's done. Are you serious?
No, like I was such a meathead mentality where I was like, protein, chicken, turkey. And once I kind of got out of that and out of my comfort zone and was kind of experimenting with veganism and what kind of food you can eat, and I have like no stomach issues. I just feel really good. So, but I mock myself, like when I saw a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a few years, like this past week, and they're like, what's new with you? You look great. And I was like, yeah, great, I'm a vegan now. And then just gauging their reaction has been really funny.
Well, because usually vegans are like saying it like, I'm a vegan, I'm better than you.
Right.
Yeah, like CrossFitters.
Right.
Yeah.
They're kind of in the same category, but I'm looking to like, break the mold, and I'm very I'm very self-deprecating. So like I almost use it as like, I'm vegan. And then like wait for
with the jazz hands.
Yeah, everything's better with jazz hands. And then I can just wait for the reaction, and I'm like, that sucks. But it's great. So.
All right.
let's move past it because I feel like you're upset about
All right,
it.
no, it's fine. It's great. It's just I love chicken wings, and that's
that's
it.
you, you know?
If people are watching right now, don't subscribe to your YouTube channel. I'm going to link it down there. You should be subscribing. You're vlogging and putting out far better content than I am, and you should have more subscribers.
Thank you. Yeah, we talked about this last time we did an interview. I literally had just started my YouTube channel kind of in the beginning of 2018 and really didn't know anything about it. You gave me a ton of tips, and I'm kind of still working on my YouTube skills, basically. But yeah, I put out a vlog every week. I didn't put one out last week. But I do it not because I'm like, oh, everyone should know what I'm doing every day, but more so to kind of share like my my life as a business owner and an entrepreneur and a sports entertainer. And
She's using the sports entertainment word.
sports entertainer,
Oh.
yeah.
No, you're a wrestler.
Okay, is that what we're doing? Because I'm a wrestler.
Until you work for the other company, you're a wrestler.
No, yeah, I agree completely. I'm just trying to get in that mentality.
I see. Oh, okay.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, I don't know. Oh. But you have been wrestling a lot. Well, you haven't been working matches, but you've been training a lot.
Yeah, I have just like a ton of stuff kind of being thrown in my face and opportunities. So I've been kind of taking the summer to train and really just get super familiar with the ring again and with working different types of opponents and kind of adding some new stuff to my arsenal and kind of just playing around with stuff and experimenting, you know, different persona type things. And I've been a career baby face, so I've always kind of wanted to be a heel, so maybe that's something that people will see soon, who knows. But I do have some stuff lined up in the next couple months for wrestling.
Okay. By the way, the picture they're using of you to promote the show here tonight doesn't look anything like you. I was like, oh, Mickie James is working the show. Cool.
Because I kind of committed to the show super last minute.
Yeah.
And because Pablo had been putting this show together, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to work it. And he's like, so we made it happen. And then I saw the flyer, like he didn't send it to me. I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, what is this? But that picture that he used is when it was like my last couple months in WWE, so it was like 4.5 years ago, and I, had the two-tone hair, the blonde and black.
Your favorite.
Oh my God, this stripper hair. And I had just got permission basically because, when you want to make a drastic change to your appearance and you're under contract, you kind of have to like get the approval.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten the approval to change my hair, and I went just dark because it was easier, and I was kind of over the two-tone. And that was like my first set of pictures that I did with like my new brunette hair. But it doesn't even look like me now. It doesn't look like the current me. And I don't have any street cred in that picture. I don't have any tattoos. And a little chubby in that picture. So people were like, "Who's the girl next to Alberto?" Like in the picture that I posted on Instagram. I was like, I don't even know that girl anymore. So
yeah, Alberto Del Rio is working the show here tonight.
big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. He doesn't work a lot of shows, so this is a pretty big deal.
It's actually the first time I'm going to see him since I left left WWE. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you still keep in touch with from WWE?
A few people, really. Like I have some friends still that are, kind of like the back on the other end of the camera, so like people on lighting and kind of the production crew. Like I always made good friends with those guys, and they seem to have longevity. And then as far as wrestlers or people on the roster, like I'm still very good friends with E. We're like lifetime friends. I actually went to see him for his birthday. Big E.
Oh, okay.
Big E. And
you need to put big in front of it.
I know. I kind of did him like a disservice, I think.
Medium-sized E. Big E.
Small E, lowercase e. And so we're still super tight, and I still, of course, keep in touch with AJ, and she is doing so much cool stuff with her life, and I think she's working on her second book now, and she's like a ton of stuff that was like kind of in the pipeline. And I actually went to CM Punk's UFC fight that was, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, June 9th.
Yeah, I went to and like a super short 24-hour trip to Chicago.
Nice.
See her and him and watch the fight, and I got like super special treatment. I got like really good seats, and I'd never been to a UFC fight in person. Like I've watched it on TV, but it's really cool, and the backstage atmosphere is very similar to WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny at UFC, like it's a big event for A-listers, especially around cage side. So who are you seated near?
So I spent like the first couple fights backstage and just kind of like watching from a locker room. And then I got to sit like on the floor seats, like really close to the octagon. But I didn't see anybody that I recognized, but I was also like, because I was coming in so late to the show. So I didn't really see anybody that I knew. Maybe I just don't know who people are. I don't know.
What's AJ doing while the fight's going on? Like she's making faces like, oh no, he's getting hurt.
Oh, they're just totally freaking out. Yeah,
Okay.
like I mean, it's hard to watch like your husband or loved ones just go in and be in imminent danger and
Yeah.
get punched in the face. So I
You
get
got
it.
beat up a lot.
I was really there for moral support.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So like I found out he was fighting and I reached out to her and I was like, oh my God. And so we planned the trip and everything. So it was cool to see her and catch up.
Now that CM Punk's lawsuit is done, does this mean AJ might go back to WWE?
I don't think so. But I mean, who am I to like comment on that? You know
Her
what I mean?
friend. I don't
I
know.
really don't see that happening. So she's got so much other stuff that she's got going on in her life. She's an author now, and yeah, I don't see that happening.
Do you think that things would have been different for you if you weren't getting married? You might not have retired from WWE when you did?
Maybe, yeah. My life was in such a crazy place when I left WWE. Like you said, I was getting married, and I had this plan to start my company, and I was just in a place where I felt like I had done a lot of really cool stuff with WWE, and I was like, all right, next chapter. But looking back, I feel like I could have done so much more, but everything's always, hindsight's always 20/20, right?
Sure.
So, but I feel like I've grown tremendously in the last 4.5 years as a person, as a wrestler, or just in general. Everybody grows, and I feel like I have so much more experience just like in life that I can apply to in-ring stuff. And I feel, because I'm vegan, I feel like really good, and I feel super capable, and very even though I'm older. I'm old now, 31.
So
So ancient.
So
I just feel good. Like I feel really good, and I feel almost actually I feel better. Like I'm in better shape. I'm sharper mentally. I have so much more like life experience that I feel like I'm so much more equipped to go back and be in the ring and in any aspect,
Yeah.
regardless of who it's for or whatever company it's for. So
you were in your early 20s when you debuted in WWE, right?
it was last week was 8 years exactly since the when I had my first tryout for WWE. 8 years ago.
Jeez.
I know.
And it's so interesting. Like, so you're 23 then. 23 to even. Yeah.
We didn't even discuss it beforehand. He's just like,
I was counting. Yeah. On my finger.
while I was
So
talking.
23 to 26 is a huge difference. Then 26 to like 30 is a massive like difference. What do you think's been the biggest difference for you?
Just really.
Other than going vegan?
I was like, don't mention veganism. Don't mention veganism. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I know myself so much more than I did when I was 23, and I know so much. I know what I want, and I know what I believe in, and I know what I stand for, and so it's I'm not as much of a pushover anymore, and I just have, I don't know, experience is the number one thing. Like I will never be the most skilled wrestler. I will never be the most technically sound wrestler, but I feel like, what I know in the ring and my abilities are good, but what makes me different now from then is my experience, both in and out of the ring. So I feel like that is like the number one thing that I kind of bring to the table.
You still do the spear?
Besides veganism. Yeah, the spear is always going to be in my arsenal. I may have a new finisher. Who knows? I'm like,
Are we going to see it tonight?
possibly.
That sounds like a yes.
Yes. Okay, guys.
Pretty sure you're going over in this match. You can't be
Who
losing.
knows? I don't know. We'll see.
Anything could happen at Coastal
Anything.
Championship Wrestling.
And you've been working on that. It was really good.
Yours was pretty good too.
Thank you.
Give it to us.
No, now I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
No, I
Which
like
wrestler can you do an impression of?
If that's such a loaded question.
No, it's not.
Isn't
Oh, you
it?
can do them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do any because I feel like
Do
super
one,
pressured right
and
now.
we'll guess
No,
who it
this
is.
is not a thing. No,
That's
you
a
can't
thing.
just do it. No, no way.
I did one and you guessed who it
Next
was.
time we do an interview.
When's that going to be?
Who knows?
What if we stop rolling here, start it back up?
Not happening.
It doesn't count as a new interview?
No. Maybe
All right.
after my match.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You want to have my makeup's all smeared and I'm just like really in the moment? Maybe.
I will say though, the last time we did the interview, you would literally just train for 2 or 3 hours. You know, you were a sweaty mess, in your words.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, let's do it right now. And I'm like, do you want to like shower or change? Like,
Never.
"No." But I love that though. Like a lot of people that would be like, no, I need to look my best. But it's the world of wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
you don't always.
What do you expect? So no, I feel like something that I kind of pride myself on is being super genuine and real and like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't always have a full face of makeup on and, you know, dress your best. So I felt like it was very appropriate to do the interview super sweaty and disgusting because like I was kind of like the representation of how hard I had been working to get to where I was going. And so I just felt like it was right.
Have you watched back that match? The one from your return match?
Yeah. And I loved it. I loved the match so much and I love Rachel. She's amazing. So, but there was, you know, watching anything back that you do, and I'm sure you do this all the time. I hate watching myself. I hate hearing myself. I hate watching myself. But it's how you learn.
Yeah.
So, you know, for especially what you do, so there was no spots where I was like, you know, like cringeworthy spots, which was
good. Yeah.
for me. But it's definitely just such a good learning experience to go back and watch yourself and be like, oh, that's how that looks. Let me never do that again.
The interesting thing now that I've been posting full interviews to YouTube, like when I first started my career, I've been on TV for like 13 years.
No big deal.
And I've won 4 Emmys, but no big deal. I
He
used
like
to,
carries the Emmys around with him. Like,
yeah,
in
they're
his
right
pocket.
behind Daniel, right there. I used to just post like 15, 20 seconds because, you know, a full interview to be put up online, you know, interviews go like, there's lulls, you know, that's not all great. But then I just started throwing them up online and it's a conversation and you guys are going to listen to it.
Yeah.
You start to realize the mistakes you made by reading the comment section.
Oh, the internet is merciless. They'll let you know. The internet will let you know.
So you read these comments too?
So a long time ago, when I was on TV and wrestling, I learned to kind of not take comments and stuff like that, you know, from anything that you put out on the internet, like too personally.
Yeah.
They can be good to help you get better at what, you know, maybe it's for interviews or whatever, or promos, but anybody can sit at a keyboard and say anything, and it could have no merit or it could be extremely accurate. So you just kind of have to like know, you kind of just have to know that going into it.
Yeah.
And I know some people that will never read anything on the internet about themselves, and then I know some people that read everything about themselves. So I think you kind of have to find a healthy medium.
There are like, especially on your posts on Instagram, there are like some serious creepers. How do you deal with that?
I don't know. I learned that engaging in certain no, when you engage, a lot of people are not a lot. Some people that leave either negative stuff or, you know, super inappropriate stuff. Yeah. It's kind of they're baiting you, and so you have to know when to say, you know what, delete, block, not worth my time. But you know, if somebody has a valid point or a serious question or whatever, I think it's worthwhile to respond to people and interact with, you know, people that follow you because they follow you, right? Yeah. So I think you just kind of have to use your best judgment, and it comes with experience.
In following you on Instagram, it's amazing how much stuff you have going on. With, you know, you're not a businesswoman, you're a business woman. You know how the phrase goes, businessman.
Something like that.
You've got so much going on, though.
I do, but I feel like if I'm ever stagnant or not doing a ton of stuff, then I'm kind of just sitting in one place, and I like to always be moving forward and doing stuff. So I really pride myself on always producing a ton of content, and for my company and just for my personal brand and whatever else I'm doing, and just really been experimenting a lot with YouTube and podcasts and you know, with my company, Celestial Bodies, and now wrestling again. And the world is my oyster.
You're always talking about like, I've got a meeting tomorrow. I've got a meeting tonight.
I'm a busy business lady doing business things.
Yeah, seriously. Wait, are they all for Celestial Bodies?
Yeah, so Celestial Bodies is my main focus for like everything, pretty much. I see myself running Celestial Bodies forever, and it's just this extension of myself. And I'm a designer. Like I put a lot into my designs and my limited releases and the culture of the company and the message that I put out. And I love it so much. It's something that I want to do forever.
Are you wearing? No, you're not. This is awful.
I'm not wearing Celestial Bodies. Like the one day I wore it all day and then changed because I knew I was doing this interview and I wanted to look cool. So I have jeans with holes and
AJ shoes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're not AJ shoes because like I wore Chuck before AJ. But
They're Kaitlyn shoes?
How dare you? They're Chuck Taylors and we'll leave it at that. But they're customized.
You told me Kaitlyn was dead last time I talked to you.
Yeah, Kaitlyn's dead for sure. We buried her.
Where?
You'll never know. No, we put the two-tone stripper hair on a boat and set it on fire and sent it out to sea. It was like a Viking funeral or whatever. Yeah.
There's something you said in your last vlog, because you didn't post one last week, but the last week you said at the end, you said, I genuinely fucking love pro wrestling.
I do.
And I think that sums it up perfectly. But it's such an interesting place to be in because 4 years ago you walked away from it. So what's changed?
My mentality 4 years ago was I was all over the place and I had personal issues and I just felt like I needed to get away from wrestling and kind of embark on this new chapter of my life. And now I realize how important pro wrestling is to me and how much it kind of like inspires me and motivates me. And it's just this it's just this outlet in my life that I feel like I really need. And cause I'm busy all the time. I'm a busy business lady. And when I go to practice or I'm in the ring, I don't even look at my phone for like 3 hours. And when does that ever happen? Like I don't even think about looking at my phone. Yeah. And so, then I get a panic attack when I look at my phone. I have like 32 text messages, but it's this escape for me. And it's just like this outlet and kind of it just drives me and gives me passion for kind of everything going on in my life.
Yeah. How long have we been recording here, Daniel? 22 minutes.
22 minutes?
And you haven't looked at your phone in 22 minutes.
I'm like, oh my God.
Is it? Okay, what's going on here? Oh, it's lit right up. What is your photo here?
That's my dog.
Oh, look
His
at that.
face looks like a thumb in this picture.
Show everyone.
This is Simon. He's my human son, my human child. Is it still? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first day I adopted him. That's what this picture's mean.
I want to ask you one more thing, because this isn't home for you, but it's home for you now. How do you enjoy living in Florida?
I'm not mad at Florida. Yeah. It's super hot today, so I'm a little mad at it. But, Texas is my home. So I miss living in Texas, and my whole family and all my friends are there. And I lived there pretty much my whole life until I started wrestling for WWE. But there's worse places to be. And my company's based here. And, there's a ton of opportunities for wrestling here as well. And then, I have Pablo Marquez's school down the road. It's not down the road, it's like half an hour for me, but I can get in the ring anytime. And so it's nice and it's convenient. And there's just so much wrestling in Florida. So.
We're not far from Orlando, and I hear that there's this other company that does stuff in Orlando.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
All right, thank you. You're so awesome. All right, thank you guys so much for checking out my interview with the new vegan.
Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to get to my locker. This isn't my locker.
Who?
Is this what my hair looks like? Jeez.
Yeah, that's what your hair looks like.
You want me to do the interview like that?
But you don't like it?
I've had better days. It's fine though. It's fine.
It's Celeste Bonin. Is that good? What do you think people will talk about? I like to predict the comments.
Okay, so first of all, they're definitely gonna talk about veganism.
Yeah.
You guys are jerks if you're talking shit. Can I say shit on this?
Sure.
Are you guys talking shit about veganism?
And they'll talk about your new tattoo.
And my street cred.
And the fact that your arms are larger
look,
than
how much I'm sweating.
That's awesome.
I just like to accentuate that. I shouldn't have worn a gray shirt. That's my problem.
Terrible choice. I think, hold this for a second.
They're definitely going to talk about they're going to talk about it. Oh, we're twins.
Oh.
guys are jerks. Don't
you're
talk
you're
about
much
it.
better at this.
Am
Okay.
I though?
So Celeste's YouTube channel's below. Mine is right here in the middle. There it is. And we're gonna link up some other interviews right here and right here. My old interview with Celeste is gonna be right here. So check
It was
that
a
out.
good one.
Old, the last one that we did.
Yeah, we're gonna do a series of interviews, so expect more after this, and more pit stains, and more talk about veganism, tattoos, wrestling. What else did we talk about?
AJ, CM Punk's career.
We talked about a lot of things.
We did. I actually wrote down a bunch of stuff and didn't even look at any of this.
Okay. Maybe it's for the next one. Did you cover everything?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.